fam, welcome back to my channel. Your girl Brittany here, and I wanted to do a quick little tutorial. If you follow me over on my Instagram, if you're not, I don't see why, but if you follow me over on my Instagram, you see that I had shared these cute little spin cards here. And this one was my first prototype. These are using the dies from Michael's by recollection from last year. So they did the pumpkin, they did a coffin, and they did the bat. And so this one I did as a shaker. And this, like I said, this is my first prototype, and it says Going Batty. But I realized that with the shaker, it makes it a little tough for it to open because it's the exact cutout of this, and it says Going Batty for you. So this one I made, and I still use the bigger die for the bat, but then I just use the size smaller to do the inside, and so it spins a lot better here. So this is that one, so that's how it spins. And then I made the coffin one, and see with this one I used the same shape cutout, and then I realized that if I just snipped around the edges a little bit, because I do like how this one turned out because it made it easier to spin, but I wanted it to be still within its shape of what I cut it out. And so what I did was I went ahead and I trimmed around it, so in that way it could still sit in but easily open up. And then this one just says You Are, and then when it opens up it says To Die For, that I did embossing, and this little die right here inside of there. So I just want to quickly show you guys how I went about making these. And I also did this one here, so it says Hey right here, and you spin it over and it fits in this little pumpkin shape, and it has a little pumpkin sticker there at the bottom, and then I just decorated the pumpkin up just a smidgen. So, and then to keep it closed, you just spin it like that. So what you're gonna need is, of course, your dies. You can use whatever dies. It doesn't even have to be nesting dies. You can just go ahead and use whatever dies that you want to go ahead and use. And then for this card, I'm going to make it a 4x4. So you're going to need cardstock that measures 8x4, and then your coordinating pieces of cardstock that you are going to mat. You're going to need 2 of those at the size that you want it. I like having an 1/8 of an inch border, so these are cut down to 3 7/8 squared. And then of course you know, your stamping or however you're going to decorate it. And then the tool that we're going to use to make the spinning part is just a piece of cardboard. This is a piece off of course, a flat rate box. And so just a little piece of cardboard and some brads, and it can just be a simple brad. You want it to be kind of long, so this is the size that I'm going to use. Alright, so what I'm going to first do is I'm going to cut off a piece of cardboard. It doesn't have to be too big, just a small little piece like that. So I already have that done. I can go ahead and put it to the side. So you can either score your sheet at 4, or you can go ahead and just fold it over. So this is a 4x4 card. And now, depending on how you want to style your card, you want to go ahead and mat your pieces together. But with your bottom one, you can go ahead and put your glue or AGT tape or whatever adhesive you use. You can go ahead and put that in all over. But with your top piece, you want to just only do your edges, because you're going to cut out your piece here. So just along the edge. And then adhere it to your card. And I'm going to use the bigger piece, the bigger pumpkin, and I'm just going to cut it out directly in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Alright, so now I have my piece cut out. So this is what your card should look like so far. And then this should separate. It may have gotten stuck a little bit because of the glue. So you want to keep this bottom piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my poker. I'm just going to poke a hole in the center And then take my little cardboard piece. I'm also going to poke a hole in the center. Just good enough so I can get my brad inside of it. So I'm poke my brad through the pumpkin and then through the little cardboard piece and just fold it up like that. So we have that. So now I'm going to adhere this piece on top. So then it covers up the brad. And then I'm going to push down a little bit just to make sure it flattens out. And you may have this little indentation. If you make it into a shaker, you really won't see it because you have your shaker bits. But that's why I decorated mine the way I did, so that way you don't see the little indentation. Same thing here, you don't really see it. Same thing as the bats, I have the top layer piece on top of there, so you don't even see the indentation from the brad. So now what I'm gonna do, before I go ahead and adhere it, if you take a close look at your die, you see that there is like a little indentation from when you had cut out your die. This, if you could see that, the little indentation. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cut along that, trying to go carefully so that you can maintain its shape without it being all jagged. And you're just gonna cut all the way around. Alright, so now that we have that cut out, you'll see that it'll fit perfectly in the center there and be able to lift up easily without any force. So now we're going to take our glue and we're going to go ahead and glue the outside, not putting too much on. Like here, I'm just doing the very edge of that little piece and then down the very edge there. You don't want to put too much because you don't want this piece to get stuck. And then while it's closed, I'm going to make sure I get it lined up. And I'm just going to press down. Make sure that it dries. And there you go. So you can go ahead and now it spins. So when you do it, when you give it to your the recipient, you can have it going this way or initially going this way. Well, I guess initially going this way. So when you spin it, it go ahead and open up. And so I hope that helps you guys out. I hope you give it a try. If so, tag me over on Instagram. And I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.